What's good, good people? Welcome to Healthy Mentality. I'm your host, Charles, also known as RMZ. Thank you for being here tonight. Please kick up your feet. If you haven't already, please take a moment to smash those like and subscribe buttons. And if you're watching on the mobile app, throw some hype my way. All of it helps the channel to grow. And I'm trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. Let's do this. All right. A reminder. There is a GLP meetup, two of them actually. The first one is in Atlanta on June 27th, then Dallas on October 17th. Check the link in the description for details and tickets. I've also partnered with Fridays. If you're uninsured, underinsured, or branded GLP-1s just aren't in the budget, Fridays has you covered. They offer compounded GLP-1s options at accessible prices with no membership fees. And that includes your lab work, unlimited provider visits, nutrition coaching, dietitian support, and a live workout program. They also provide access to TRT for you men out there and for powerhouse supplements like Samoralin and NAD+. Plus, they even have a meal delivery service for additional costs. Use the link in the description and the code RMZ to get a $150 discount on your first order. Before we begin, a quick disclaimer. I am not a healthcare professional, nor do I claim to be. Nothing shared here is medical advice. We're simply sharing our experiences and perspectives. Please consult your healthcare team before making any changes to your treatment routine. All right. With that said, um, my guest had to pull out at the last minute, so we had to reschedule him to May 26th, I believe, is or June 2nd. I believe he's an athletic director at a college or at a school, and he was out with his baseball team, and they were delayed getting back to the school, and so that threw him off. So you have me tonight. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat, and I'll be happy to chat them up with you. So if not, then we can wrap this thing up early. But I appreciate you all joining me tonight. I'm looking forward to any questions. I see some of you in the chat. See Perfectly Pamela, my man G Money, BV. Who else we got here? Purple Bellflower, the Mel B. Jen, I see ya. Who else we got here? That's all I can see for now. I appreciate you all being here. So if you have a question for me, drop it in the chat. Put QQQ in front of it before so I can filter and find it. All right, I think I have a question here. Let's see. All right, Mel wants to know, how is my TRT therapy going? What are you feeling after a month? So, my TRT journey, I am actually wrapping up my um, third week. My third week will conclude tomorrow. I start week 4 on Thursday night. How is it going? It's going well. I'm actually getting some additional sleep. I feel rested. I'm getting my energy back. As you can tell, I've been going to the gym. I'm getting up in the morning at 3:30 in the morning and hitting the gym again before work, like I was doing before I started my radiation therapy, which kind of set all of this in motion. Um, Still working on getting the levels set. I believe it takes about 5 to 6 weeks before you reach a steady state where you're in that therapeutic range each week. So I'm injecting twice a week, on Monday mornings at 6:30 and on Thursday nights at 6:30 p.m. So that gives me 84 hours in between injections on both sides of that to kind of keep that balance. So far so good. It's been noticeably different. I haven't hit the full stride with it yet, but I can tell that it's going to continue to do what it needs to do. All right, what else we got? Thank you for that question, Mel. What else we got here? Hey, Grace, I see you. Thank you for joining us. G's 101. I see you there. Heads up, next week we will have a panel. The panel will be back together. So that's me, Prince Paul or Pauline Amadeus, the King Darium, and G Money and G's, if I haven't say their names already. So I'm looking forward to that panel. I think we have some great topics to discuss, and hopefully you'll be able to join us next week. So I don't see any more questions. Y'all ain't got no questions for me? Oh, there we go. King Darium. With all this additional sleep, how you getting in 30,000 hours at the gym? You out here showing it out at the break of dawn. I wish. What I have noticed, going back to Mel's question, is that even when I don't get a lot of sleep, I still have energy. I've noticed that on my injection days that it's hard for me to sleep sometimes. I don't know if I'm just more wired from the injection, especially on Thursday nights. But last last Tuesday, last Monday, I injected on Monday morning, and I went to bed, and I woke up at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't go back to sleep, so I just went to the gym, and I was up all day from at 1 o'clock a.m. to I went to bed the next day after the interview with Kevin. last week, and my energy was up all day. I did not feel any fatigue. I never hit the wall, so that bodes well for the future. And I got another question from Grace. Congrats on crushing your workouts. Do you use AI for your routine each day? Actually, I did use AI to get my routine this time around. It's the first time I've done that. I started using Claude. I like Claude a lot better than ChatGPT and Gemini. Um, so I asked Claude to make me a full body routine for 3 days a week, and it did that. So try to do about 35 to 30, 25 to 30 minutes of treadmill each morning just to start, get my blood flowing and get my body warmed up. And then it gave me a whole list of things to do for each day. So I switch it up each day, targeting different muscle groups throughout each workout. So I'm in the gym on Sunday morning, Tuesday and Thursday morning. So they gave me a pretty good workout. So I'm enjoying it. Just easing into it, starting with a lighter weight to get my body used to being back in the gym again, still working through some of that soreness and whatnot. Good question, Grace. Uh, all right. And Jen wants to know if I'm still on 10 milligrams. Yes, I am on 10 milligrams. I'm doing it weekly. And what I have been noticing since I started the testosterone injections is that I'm actually hungered, a little more hungry than I have been. It seems that that the testosterone is fighting against the GLP-1 medication. So I'm, I'm noticing a lot more hunger. So I'm trying to mitigate that, following in the protein queen's footsteps and up in my protein each day. And I've started doing that the last 3 days. So trying to get over 200 grams of protein in each day to mitigate that hunger and also feed my muscles. That has helped. I noticed the last 2 weeks. I was wondering if I took some dud injections because it seemed like after a day or two they just weren't working. So I'm injecting on Friday for my zepbound, and that's after injecting the testosterone on Thursday night. So I don't know if they're competing against each other, but I'm trying to balance the two out. And upping my protein has really helped the last few days. So good question. And Grace wants to know if I'm on. Actually, I skipped. I skipped it. Sorry, let me go back. Mel B. I'm using Claude too. Love it. So, what's your actual fitness goal? Gain lean mass. My actual fitness goal is yes to gain lean mass, to just put on some more muscle. Speaking of which, I've noticed since I started the testosterone, my weight has gone up. I think before I took my injection, I was like 192, 193, and I was 197 this morning. Um, so I don't know if that's a function of me being hungrier or a function of the testosterone, or maybe it's the testosterone making me hungrier. So I'm putting on the weight and it's making my muscle grow. So my ultimate goal is just to burn a little more fat and put on a little more lean mass, outside of just correcting the imbalances that I was feeling with my testosterone issues. So that's the most critical thing for me. Purple wants to know, do you find maintenance hard? If so, what makes it feel that way? Yes, when I initially started maintenance, it was hard, and I think because there is no blueprint, there is no way, even though even with the active weight loss, there is no one way to do that. People have different methods of doing it. I found that a lot more structured, and just getting little tidbits from here and there and putting them in my own journey. And it was a lot more structured on how I went about my day and how I went about my week to lose weight. I knew exactly what I needed to do, but when I got the maintenance, it was a lot more difficult because I was trying to stop the weight loss, and I didn't know exactly what levers to pull because I tried going down in dose, and that brought back the food noise. So I went back up, and I continued to lose weight. So then I started adjusting my workouts. I went from 4 or 5 day workouts per week to down to 3, down to 2. Then that wasn't helping really, so I adjusted the intensity of the workouts. So I didn't go as hard on the workouts to try to mitigate the loss. And then I tried spreading out my injections. So I went from straight to 14 days, and that worked for a little bit. And then I think as the time went on, with the medication leaving my body, with the half life and all of that, my body started fighting back. So then I went back to weekly injection, and then I went and tried to gradually go up in dose and spacing it out. So I went up to 8 days, to 9 days, to 10 days, and then still having problems. So I went back to once a week. So I'm on once a week now, and it's been helping to kind of hold my weight. The reason why I dropped down to 192 was more related to oral surgery that I had, and I had an extraction of an upper molar, and they did a bone graft. So they put me on kind of like soft food and liquid diets for about a week. So that made my weight drop down. So I've been maintaining pretty much that 192, 193 since then, but now I'm back up to 197. Good question. Thank you. Grace wants to know if I'm on compound or brand. I'm currently on brand. I did do compound for about 6 months. Like halfway through my first year, I switched to compound, and that was more of me. I had partnered with the telehealth then, and I wanted to experience what the service was like, what the medication was like, was it efficacious, were the results similar to being on brand. I wanted to experience that and know what I was talking about. I didn't want to be out there hawking something that I had no real knowledge of or relationship with. So I did stay on compound for about 6 months and then reverted back to brand. And I actually found that the compound was stronger than the branded medication in my experience. I think I was on a 7.5 dose or the equivalent of compound, and it was strong. And when I went back to 10, when I went back to branded, I went up to 10, and it felt a lot. It didn't feel as strong as that 7.5 that I was getting from the compound pharmacy. So little differences like that were kind of enlightening to me. All right, Darium wants to know: are you going to do a community post where the peeps can ask questions for the men's panel? That's a good idea. Yes, let's do that. I will set up community posts to do that. In addition to the topics that I send out to you guys, I think I think you're the only one that replied back about it and gave some feedback. I think we have some great topics to discuss next week, so I'm looking forward to having those discussions. So I will do that tomorrow. Perfectly, Pam wants to know: have you adjusted your diet since you've getting back into the gym to keep from losing more weight? I have adjusted my diet, but not to prevent from losing weight. I've adjusted it to um, mitigate my hunger to get more satiety because I was feeling a lot hungrier. But I think with the testosterone, I'm going to end up gaining muscle weight anyway. So I'll probably get leaner, but I'll probably put on muscle weight. So the scale, I'm expecting the scale to go up, but hopefully I'll stay below 200 so I can stay in Wonderland. My goal is to stay in Wonderland. I never thought I would say that because I never wanted to be in Wonderland, but now I want to stay there. So hopefully I can stay somewhere around 197, 198, with dropping some of this fat off and getting a lot more leaner. So that's the only adjustment is just getting more protein in so I can feel full more throughout the day, and I don't start thinking about eating sugary snacks and whatnot. Good question. Thank you. My man Kevin, welcome back, my man. Thanks for joining. So, are you feeling leveled with the TRT injection? Have you noticed any more mental clarity? Uh, I, I'm feeling, I am feeling a little more clarity. I don't have the brain fog that I was having, and the sort of there was a period of time where because I wasn't getting a lot of sleep and I was just feeling hopeless, and that was kind of exasperated by going to these doctors and kind of being dismissed regarding my symptoms and what I was feeling. That was bringing about frustration, and on top of me not getting enough sleep in. There were times where I would be at work at my desk, and I was fighting the urge to nod off. I was just so tired. But so I'm feeling more clarity in that regard. I'm thinking better. My energy level is up. I don't think it is as high as it's going to be. The longer I'm staying, longer I stay on the testosterone. They say it takes about 6 weeks for you to get that to that stable state. So I think that for me that'll be um, I think May 6th is when I should reach that stable state according to Claude. And then I have my first blood work on May 7th. So I'm looking forward to finding out what the results are as far as my testosterone levels, particularly my free testosterone. So I'm looking forward to that and getting those numbers. Then I have a follow-up appointment with the urologist on the 21st. So I'm looking forward to having that discussion as well. Good question. Grace wants to know, what's your go-to meal when you don't feel like trying? Kind of. I guess it kind of depends on where I'm at. If I'm at the office, it's going to be Chipotle. I'm going to go to one of their high protein meals, um, and then it has either been the chicken, the little chicken cup with one or two of the tacos, or um, the GOP1 bowl that they advertise with has the higher protein. And yesterday I actually tried the high protein bowl. I think it has like 81 grams of protein in it. Because like I said, I was trying to focusing on getting more protein in. So I tried that one and I actually couldn't eat all of it. I ate half of it for lunch and half of it for dinner. So I still got the entire allotment of the protein. I just had to split it up because I got full. But if I'm at home, it's going to be those like those nature. I forget what the naked chicken. I throw them in the oven or the air fryer. I like the spicy ones, and the chicken patties that they also do. Uh, Grace wants to know, what's the one thing people assume about GP1s that makes you go, nope, not even close. I would say the one thing is the muscle wasting. There's a lot of misinformation out there regarding that. A lot of people connect the wasting to the medication itself, which is nothing can be further from the truth. It's not the medication that's doing it; it's the weight loss, and then people not getting enough protein in, and then it's not enough to get it. It's not enough to get enough protein. You also have to do some resistance training to um, get those muscles active and mitigate that muscle loss. And that's the biggest thing. You see a lot of talk about this on Instagram from especially from these trainers, and you think that they would be more in tune to cater to GLP-1 users to help them maintain muscles. Instead, they knock the use of the medication. I don't understand that. They are closing off a prime opportunity to get more clients in. But what people don't understand is that you lose muscle in any kind of weight loss, whether that be from a bariatric surgery or from some kind of medical condition. If you're in a caloric deficit and you're not getting enough protein and not working those muscles out, you're going to lose those muscles regardless of the mechanism of the weight loss. So that's the biggest thing I would say. Good question. Mel wants to know, what are your thoughts on the female people on testosterone? It's one tenth of a male dose, and the other hormones, i.e., estradiol. Um, I've been when I get into something, I go all in. Like my algorithm on YouTube is all hormone replacement therapy. So I've been studying a lot about this, and a lot of people don't realize that women need testosterone as well. And there are some needs for women to have testosterone replacement treatment as well. And on the flip side of that, people don't realize that men need estrogen. They complement each other, but you'll have different amounts in it. Whether you're a male or a female, you have different concentrations of it. So as a man, you'll have more testosterone than estrogen, and as a woman, you have more estrogen than testosterone. But you need both of them; they're critical to the regulation of our systems and our health overall. So I think women should definitely look into it. I was listening to a story, I think yesterday, when I was out walking my dog, where a husband had his wife get her levels checked, and she found out that she had zero testosterone in her system. It was absolutely nothing. So they put her on TRT, and it completely changed her her energy, her outlook on life. And he credited that with saving his marriage because it was that bad with her, um, with how she was reacting to not having any testosterone in her system. So I'm all for it. I think we need to get tested for both of them, and if we need the replacement of a certain hormone, then we need to go for it. Good question. Dee Dee, hey Dee Dee, how you doing? Dee Dee wants to know, is my food noise gone? Um, no, but it's not completely back. It's not to the level it was when I first started my journey, and I didn't think about any kind of sweets, where I could have a sweet tea sit in my refrigerator for 5 or 6 months and not even crack it open because I had no desire to do it. Um, but I do have a sugar craving from time to time. It's not to the level where I'm eating sugar all day long, but I may have a little piece of like a lifesaver or a little mini candy bar or something, a couple times throughout the day to kind of scratch that itch. But I'm not eating sweets all day long. But I noticed lately when I up my protein the last 3 or 4 days, that has completely gone as well. So that could have been the key the whole time. Being on TRT has kind of forced me to up my protein. So that has kind of knocked out that food noise. It's still there. It's not like I said. It's not like it was when I first started, but it's not like it had been the last few months where I would kind of graze all day long. So I'm thankful for that. So I'll probably stick to a higher protein diet, which is probably necessary for me anyway. Being back in the gym and being on TRT. So hopefully that holds up. Good question. Jen wants to know, are you getting slack about being so slim, and do you give a shit? No, to both questions. There was a comment from my dad, who said, uh, I was getting too skinny. And I told him I'm about the same size I was when I graduated high school. It, and the funny thing is he's on Ozempic now, so he kind of knows what the deal is. Um, that's the only comment that I've had about being too small. My wife likes to joke about me being smaller because she likes to me at the teddy bear size. But other than that, no. Either way, I don't give a shit. It is what it is. I'm going to do me regardless, as long as my health is good. I'm getting the nutrients that I need, Um, and that's all that matters to me. Good, good question. Grace wants to know, since women often respond more to GLP-1s, what unique challenge as a man do you face that we might not be talking about enough? Hmm. That is a real good question. I'd have to think about that one. Offhand, I just want to say that the the shame of, and I did a video about this a few weeks back. The shame about being on GLP-1. There's a lot of men that just do not talk about it. They're on it. They won't say anything about it. Yeah, I've had people comment on a video that they didn't say anything to their family about it because of the negative connotation that comes along with it. I know for myself, when I started, I kept it secret myself. My wife knew. I didn't tell anyone else. Um, I created separate social media channels and blocked everyone on my friends list, so I wouldn't pop up in their feed. Um, so I created a new Instagram account, a TikTok account, and blocked everyone. So, but and as time went on, and I started making content myself, I just said, forget that. I'm doing me. People can see the results, and if they ask me, I'll tell them this is what I'm doing. I'm on zepbound, but I'm also in the gym 5 to 6 days a week. I'm burning like 1,500 calories a day working out, and working in a caloric deficit to lose weight. Um, but there's a lot of stories like that out there where men are not having this open discussion about being on it because of the shame and the stigma that goes along with it, because there's this mentality that men aren't supposed to use these kind of medications to lose weight. And I'm also finding the same thing with TRT. When I'm consuming a lot of TRT content right now, and what I've noticed that there aren't a lot of American men talking about TRT on YouTube. If you pull up a video, it's going to be someone with an accent. They're either from Australia or in Europe, and there's like one or two in Canada. But there aren't really many American men talking about it unless they're someone that had used steroids in the past and they tank their natural testosterone production, and they have to take TRT because of that. Those are only men that I've seen, American men, talking about TRT. So that same stigma is out there where there's like this shame that you're because your body is not producing enough TRT. There's some kind of stigma out there that you're not manly enough or man enough because your body can't produce a hormone that it needs. So I'm seeing the same thing in that space. Excellent question. Thank you for that. All right. Grace wants to know your D1 athlete background. How do you see GLP-1s fitting into the world of sports, if at all? That's a good question. I actually made a comment about this. There was a last year there was a player from the University of Florida that was signed to. He was a rookie coming out of college. I don't think he was drafted because of his size. He was a great athlete, but he was the largest man ever to play in the NFL. I think he was like 464 pounds. He was just a huge man. They signed him to a contract, a free agent rookie contract, and they did not let him practice with the rest of the team. Instead, he spent a lot of time working out, trying to lose weight. And I was thinking to myself, wouldn't it be nice if they could get that young man on a GLP-1 to get him down to a safe playing weight? They were concerned about him being out there in the sun and his body not being able to handle the rigors of an NFL camp, and him possibly losing his life. So they just had him running around the field in shorts and a helmet and a t-shirt for for most of the practices. But if they had the ability to get him on a TR on a GLP-1 in order to lose weight, I mean that could be um, life changing income for him and generational wealth for his family if he could sign a contract to be on an NFL team for going forward. So I don't know if he was eventually cut, but I don't know if he's going to be back in camp this year or if he's even looked into using the GLP-1 to get his weight down to what they see as an acceptable weight, playing weight, which for his position would probably be about 330 pounds. So I think I think it was like 464 when they weighed him at the for the NFL draft, but I think he had lost like 20 pounds since then. So he was a large human being, but he was very athletic. He moved really well for his size. And you just imagine what he would do if he was able to sign to a team and get his weight down to um, an acceptable weight for his position in the NFL. So I think there is a space for the use of GLP-1s within athletics for things like that. Um, but we'll see how that goes. See if there's a break from the stigma with that. Great question. My man, Houston, are you injecting 10 milligrams zepbound every 7 days or 10 days? Vaguely recall a 10-day cycle. I did go to a 10-day cycle at one point, but I did switch back to a 7-day cycle. Um, I was just noticing that being so far in between injections was I started using the Shotzi app too, which will estimate the amount of GLP-1 in your system based on the time that you injected and the dose and all of that. So I started watching that and seeing how my levels were declining the more the further I was away from my last injection. And I started having some effects of that with the food noise and hunger coming back. So as I started seeing that level go down where, they was estimating I had like 3 milligrams in my system, and I could correlate that with the effects that I was seeing with my food noise going up and my hunger going up. I started moving back down to a 7 day. So I've been on a 7 day injection schedule for I want to say at least 4 months now. I've been back on it, and so that's been doing well for me. Being back on that 7 day. Good question. Thank you. All right. John Henry is on the mobile and wants to know, since being on TRT, did you get a surprise jump start to life? Meaning you wake up and you're ready to conquer the world and be productive. Uh, yes. Like I said, I don't think I'm fully there yet, but I can feel it. I can feel it. I feel more energy. I feel um ready to get out the bed in the morning and go to work, or get up in the morning at 3:30 or 3 a.m. and hit the gym by 4 a.m. Like I was before. Um, so I found that clarity. Um, so I'm looking forward to what it's like when I get to stable state. I can feel the changes and how my body is reacting physiologically and whatnot. How my emotions are more mitigated, where I'm not feeling overwhelmed. So I'm a person that has generally managed stress really well, but I've noticed over the last year, especially the last few months, trying to figure out this whole testosterone thing and getting less and less sleep, my stress levels have changed. My ability to manage that stress has changed. But now I'm back to feeling a little more normal, like I was feeling when I first started my GLP-1 journey. That first year on my journey before I started treatment, I was feeling a lot better as the weight came off and my energy levels came back up. And there's some more details that I will go into. I'm going to make a video on it as I hit my 30-day mark, which will be um, next week, I think. So be on the lookout for that. Good question. John Henry is on the mobile and he's not on here. Uh, let's see, Shy Town asked some questions. I see maybe some questions in here that didn't have a queue in front of them. Um, hello from Chicago. All right, Chi-Town wants to know how I track my water intake. I 40 ounce. I drink 2 of these a day, plus water that I take with my Marilax and with my medication. So I'm making sure I'm getting at least 100, if not more, but at least 2 of these a day. So I fill this up at least twice. I also throw in one electrolyte packet, element packet, and for each day. So make sure I'm getting that in. Uh, what is your go-to protein shake? I've I haven't really been drinking protein shakes as of lately, but I did run to the store and get some this week where I'll use them on my lip days where I'll take it. But I was doing a Fairlife, a 30-gram chocolate Fairlife protein shake on a daily basis, especially during my active weight loss journey. So if I hit Costco, I'll probably get another case of those. I really like the flavor in those, but I want to try not to rely on shakes as much. I want to eat my protein, so it will mitigate my hunger better as I'm on this part of my journey with the testosterone and being back in the gym and whatnot. Good question. Uh, I think I got both your questions. Thank you. Thank you for those questions. And I got a super chat from Mel. First of all, thanks for your transparency, creating a space for men plus women on their health journey. Secondly, is there an andropause panel coming soon? There might most likely will be. I think that is a good question. That's actually a term that I had not heard until I started researching all of this stuff. And for you guys that don't know, andropause is the male version of menopause. So that's what they call it. So as your testosterone levels start going down, you can go into a state of andropause. So hopefully, I can get a panel together to talk about it because I think it's real critical. The more that I learn about testosterone and the role it plays in our health and a lot of the systems in our body, um, how the role it plays in heart health, your lipids, your bone health, your muscles, um, your diabetes, your insulin resistance, your obesity. It plays a role in that as well. Because as you're obese, a lot of your testosterone will get turned into estrogen, which could lead to gynecomastia, where male boobs. So it plays a lot. It plays a big role in our overall health. So the more I dig into testosterone, the more it just amazes me the way our body operates. So good question, and I appreciate you for the super chat. Apologies for that. Thank you for showing up for me every week. I appreciate you. All right. Any more questions? I think I got them all. Let's see if there were some other questions that didn't have a Q in front of it. 2 week injections aren't for me. I agree. I agree with you now because it was a struggle once I got up to that 14-day window. I agree with that comment as well, Mel B. It's an unnecessary stigma, very unnecessary. Let's see. Great comment there, Houston. Definitely a lot of shame associated with GLP-1 use. Aside from my brother and my wife, I haven't shared that I'm on Mounjaro with anyone else. Yep. Culprit of man boobs. Yes, it could be not TRT itself, but the estrogen levels can be the culprit of man boobs. Because as your body, there is an enzyme in your body called aromatase, and it will aromatize your testosterone for men. It will aromatize your testosterone into estrogen. So as the less testosterone that's available for your body to use, because it's being turned into estrogen, the more estrogen in your system can lead to gynecomastia. So there is that result there. So a lot of men will take, in addition to taking TRT, they will take aromatase inhibitor to block estrogen for that. All right. So I don't have any more questions. Well, if there's nothing else, I want to thank you all for being with me tonight and sticking with me. Like I said, we will be back next week with the panel. Me, G's, Paul, Prince Paul or Paul Lane, um, G Money, and the King Darium. So we're looking forward to that discussion. I will post a post in my community page. So if there's any questions that you want to give us in advance, that we'll have those answers ready to go, or those discussion points ready to go, and then we'll also be open to a live Q&A um, after the discussion of our main discussion. So I appreciate you all for being here, um, showing up for me tonight. I apologize on behalf of my guests who couldn't make it tonight. I'm trying to get them rescheduled for May 26th. Um, that's my first available day. We've got a lot of men that want to come on and tell their stories. So we got the men's panel next week, um, and then I'm booked out until May 19th for now. So hopefully May 26th will work for him. So a lot of men ready to go. Got another question that just came in. John Henry wants to know, how often are you injecting TRT, and are you injecting sub-Q or IM? Okay, so for those of you who don't know, IM is intramuscular. I am injecting, excuse me, twice a week. There are 168 hours in a week, so I'm splitting that dose twice at the halfway point. So Monday morning at 6:30 a.m. and Thursday night at 6:30 p.m. So that's the halfway point, 84 hours apart. And then that's another 84 hours from 6:30 on Thursday night to 6:30 on Monday morning. So I'm doing that twice a week to balance that out, balance the levels out. I am also doing sub-Q injections. In my study, I found out that it is a lot more beneficial to do sub-Q injections. There are a lot more benefits to it. With intramuscular injection, you're using a much bigger needle and you're jabbing it into the muscle. So there's a potential to build up scar tissue in your muscle over time. There's the potential to hit veins, and there's the potential to hit nerves because you're going so deep into the muscle to deliver that injection. And there's also, um, because of the way that the body absorbs the testosterone, you have a big spike in testosterone. So you're high up here for 1 or 2 days, and then because it goes into your system so rapidly, you go into this big trough before your next injection. So going sub Q, the body absorbs it a lot more slower. So you don't have this big peak and then this low. It slowly absorbs into your system. It builds a steady state for you. And because it's absorbed through the capillaries in the fat. And you're also just doing a sub-Q injection. So you're not worried about building scar tissue on your muscles or hitting nerves or veins. So a lot more beneficial to doing sub-Q. And the efficacy of the two methods are exactly the same. So why not do sub-Q? It's a lot easier. All right. So that's my answer on that. So thank you all for staying with me tonight. Like I said, we'll be back next week and then we'll keep going from there. So I really appreciate you all. Thank you and have a great night. We will see you here next week with the panel on the 21st at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. So see you next week. And thank you all again for coming out tonight. I really enjoyed it and love this community. You guys mean so much to me and to so many others. And we will see you next week. Have a good night.